Hello everyone and very good morning to all of you. Students, I am back with a new chapter, that is chapter number 10. So students, in previous chapter we have seen non-renewable resources and renewable resources. And we have seen some natural resources like soil, animals, water, minerals, fuels, etc. So we are picking one of them, that is soil. So in chapter number 10 we are going to start about soils of India. So let's get started. We'll see first of all what are the points we are going to cover in this chapter. We are going to study about the importance of soil as a natural resource, the types of soil found in India. So about the soil particularly we are going to study in detail. Okay, we have seen already that the soil is very important. How all living things are dependent on soil for food, and food we are growing in soil. So that is why it is very important natural resource for us. Now let's see what we are going to study. First topic is importance of soil. Plants grow in soil. Animals depend on plants for their food. That just now we have discussed. Thus, all the living things depend on the soil for their food. In villages, people build houses of mud, pots, etc. with soil. So, in previous chapter also we have seen how with the soils they make the pots and they make the bricks and cement. Okay, and that is why it is very important for villages people also. Okay, now students, let's move further and see other points about this. So students, except food, we can get some more things from the plants. Yes, there are some plants with that we can make the cloth. So we make clothes from plants like cotton and jute. And the villages people, what they do, they use the soil to make their walls also of the houses. Okay, most people in India depend on agriculture for their livelihood. So soil is one of the most important natural resources according to this. So students, now question is arising in your mind that how this soil is formed. Now let's move further and first see the major soil types in India. So students, here you can see forest and mountains are shown with green color in your map. Okay, and yeah, alluvial soil is given in light green color. Red and yellow soil is given with pink color. Black soil is given with a grey color. Laterite soil is given with light pink color. Okay, so this is how the major soils types are found in India. Now let's move further. So formation of soil. This point is very important, that rocks on the earth are broken down into small pebbles by sometimes rain comes, and then from the flowing water, from the force of water, what happens, these pebbles break down further to the form tiny pieces of soil. Okay, wind, rain and rivers carry the soil to different places. Then what happens when wind and rain comes and rivers carry the soil to different places? Okay, remains of dead plants and animals mix with the soil to make it fertile. Then how the soil becomes fertile? So sometimes what happens, the plants dead in that soil and animals also. So it mixes with the soil, and that is why it makes the soil fertile. It takes more than 100 years for nature to make just 1 centimeter of soil. Now we have understood that when the large rocks on the earth are broken down into small pebbles, then by rain or flowing water, these pebbles break down further to the form tiny pieces of soil. Okay, and then how it reaches to the different places? By the wind, by the rain and reverse flow. So by that, this type of soils reaches to the different places. Then how it becomes fertile? So because of the dead plants and the animals, sometimes they die, and then their flesh mixes with the soil, and then it makes the soil fertile. Now let's move further and see the types of soil. So there are 6 main types of soil found in India. These different types of soils are suitable for growing different types of crops. That is why such a wide variety of crops are grown in India. What are these 6 main types of soil? Now let's see. So first soil we are taking, that is alluvial soil. The rivers of the northern plains bring with them large quantities of silt or alluvium. So we have seen this in a first chapter also, and we have understood when we were studying about the northern plains that the rivers which are formed from the mountains, okay, when it comes to the plains, then it brings with them very fine soil. So the rivers of the northern plains bring with them large quantities of silt or alluvium. This gets deposited on the land around the river. If you have seen around the river, you can find very fine soil. So this is called the alluvial soil. Understood? So students, now you understood it is very fertile soil. So that is why most populated cities are located in the banks of rivers. Okay, it is found in the northern plains and in the deltas of Deccan Plateau. Okay, you can say that it makes the northern plains one of the most fertile regions of the world. Okay, so which type of crops can we grow in alluvial soil? Alluvial soil is especially good for the cultivation of rice, wheat, sugarcane, jute, pulses and oil seeds. Now let's see the other type of soil. What is that? Yes, this is black soil. Now let's read this. Black soil is formed from the lava that comes from the volcanoes. It is found in the central and northwestern parts of southern plateau. Most of the Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh and parts of Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka and Rajasthan have this soil. Okay. So students, this type of soil is also good for cultivation. So let's see how it looks like. So this is how the black soil looks like, and it is very good for growing the sugarcane and cotton. Okay. Now students, let's move further and see the next type of soil. So this is red soil. So it is very easy to understand this type of soil. It looks red in color. Okay, I have shown the picture also here. You can see it is looking red. Now let's read it. The rest of the southern plateau contains soil that is red in color. It is not as fertile as black soil, but can be made fertile by adding manure. It is good for crops such as jowar, bajra and groundnut. Okay, so it is not fertile as black soil, but we can make it fertile by adding manure, and these all jowar, bajra and groundnut can be grown in this type of soil. Red soil is also very good for growing sugar cane. Okay, now let's move further and see the other type of soil. So this is laterite soil. This type of soil is found in the Western Ghats and parts of Tamil Nadu. It is rich in iron and aluminium and is red in color. It is good for crops such as tea, coffee, spices, coconut and rubber. Understood? So students, we have seen the Western Ghats in some previous chapters. Okay, and there you can find this type of soil and it also look red in color. Okay, now let's move further and see the desert soil. I hope students you have some knowledge about this, because we have understood that the soil is not fertile and not good for cultivation because of less rainfall in desert. So desert soil contains mostly sand. It is found mainly in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Sandy soil cannot hold much water. It is therefore not fertile. Okay, as you know, because of the less rainfall, there is sandy soil, and sandy soil cannot hold much water. So that is why it is not fertile. So this is mountain soil. Mountain soil is very rich in humus. Humus is what? Humus is the remains of dead plants and animals. Okay, this is the thing only that makes the soil more fertile. The minerals present in the humus make the soil very fertile. The same thing is written. Mountain soil is found in the Himalaya region and the northeastern parts of India. So, by the name only we have understood that it can be found there where the mountains are located. Okay. The soil is very good for growing fruits such as apple, pear, peach and plum. Now students, let's move further and see other topics. What happens in soil erosion? The fertile top layer of the soil is carried away by the wind and water to a different places. This is called soil erosion. As you know that it takes 100 years to make 1 centimeter of soil. Okay, and as you know that fertile top layer is just carried away, so it makes the soil infertile. Understood? Now let's move further and see the other points about this, that we cut trees for fuels and to build farms, cities and roads. Okay, and you know cutting down the trees is called deforestation, and because of deforestation also the soil erosion happens. Now you are thinking why the cutting down trees can be cause of the soil erosion. You know very well that the roots of the trees and bushes and the grasses hold the soil. There is very less chances of the soil erosion. So that is why trees are very important. Okay, now let's move further and see did you know. Now let's read did you know. Okay, earthworms help increase the fertility of the soil by converting dead leaves into humus. So earthworms also play main role to increase the fertility of soil. How? They convert the dead leaves into humus, and humus, you know, humus is very important to make the soil fertile. They also dig through the soil, making it looser and letting in air so that plant roots can breathe. Okay. Now let's move further and see the roots of plants. Just now we have discussed the same thing we are going to read here. Roots of plants hold the soil together and prevent soil erosion. So students, same thing is written here. Roots of plants hold the soil together and prevent soil erosion. And what is planting of trees is called? That is afforestation. And it is the most important method of preventing soil erosion. Okay, understood? Students, there are some more methods to prevent soil erosion. Now let's move further and see that covering of bare farmland with grass or dried vegetation, terrace farming in hills and buildings, embankments along river banks are some other methods to prevent soil erosion. Okay, so this is did you know is given. Farmers also grow crops on hillsides. They do so by cutting steps in the hills. This is known as terrace or step farming. Okay, so students, it prevents soil erosion also. So that is, I will see the picture of the terrace farming or step farming. So this is how they do the step farming or terrace farming to grow the crops on hilly areas. Okay, now let's revise students what we have studied already. Soil is an important natural resource. The 6 main types of soils found in India are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil and mountain soil. The different soils are good for growing different type of crops. Soil erosion by wind and water can be prevented by afforestation. So, keep in mind, cutting down the trees, deforestation. Planting the trees, afforestation. Understood? Now let's move further and see the homework. So students, this is your homework. What you have to do in this? List 6 main types of soils found in India. What is soil erosion? How can we prevent soil erosion? And what do you mean by afforestation? So all these points you have to find the answers from your book. Okay? Now, students, this is the time for me to leave. I hope you have understood about the soils of India and different types of soils and what are the causes of soil erosion and how can we prevent. Now friends, I'll see you in next class with a new chapter. Till then, take care of yourself and study well.